All right, so we're back. So what you saw are three methods to determine value. You got the sales comparison approach for homes with a history. You've got the cost approach for new build homes. And you've got the income approach for investment property. All right? And I told you earlier that the highest and best use is going to determine which, excuse me, which one of these methods they use, right? Well, I lied to you because the appraiser will do all three of them. And then he's going to do this thing called reconciliation. Reconciliation. Reconciliation is the probability of each one of these happening together. So let me show you. Let's go back to those homes or buildings over on the west side of 31. The appraiser is going to say, oh, somebody's going to sell that property. We need to appraise it. So he's going to go in and look at that, and he's going to go, oh, that's potentially a house. I need to do the sales comparison approach. So he's going to pull the comps and get $100,000 for the value if it's sold as a home. He's going to say, okay, well, let's talk about building a new property to gain the value of that. So if we use the cost approach and figure the depreciation in, I get $120,000. But it could rent. So let's figure out what's the market rent in there, do the math, figure that up, and realize that the value as a commercial property might be $150,000. What he's going to do now is reconcile these three numbers together. And how he does that is by using his professional education to determine the probability of which one of those is the most common. What are the odds that this house is going to sell as a house? Probably not high, so let's say 10% chance. Because it's on 31, it's real popular, all right? So 10% of 100 grand is 10 grand. What are the odds that they're going to build a new building? None, because it's not vacant. So that percentage is 0. So 120 times 0 is 0. What are the odds it's going to be used as a commercial building? Probably 90%, which makes a good number since 10 was the other one. So 90% of 150, was that 135? So now I add those three numbers up, 10,000 plus 0 plus 135, I get a total of 145,000. Boom, there's my value, the appraisal's done. Good night, thank you. Elvis has left the building. So reconciliation, he takes the highest and best use and figures the probability of all three of those and which one's the highest probability, and then they do the math. There is no math like this on the exam. Just understand what reconciliation is. Reconciliation is taking his answers out of the three approaches and merging them into one. Now watch this. This is kind of funny, and this works out fun. If you're going to sell your house and a buyer comes in and the bank needs it appraised on your property, what are the odds it's going to be used as a rental? 0. What are the odds it's going to be used for a new build? Well, the house is already there. What are the odds? 0. So what does that leave? The only valuation left is what? No. You said it's not going to be a rental. It's not going to be a new build. So it's probably going to be a sales comparison approach. New homeowner is going to come in, right? The method of sales comparison approach is exactly equal to what method? What do we do as realtors? Comps. What is the sales comparison method? Maybe I blew through it too quick. It's comps. That's exactly what he's doing, right? So, in essence, he's doing what you're doing, and because there's no potential for the other two, his answer should be exactly your answer. This is what the beauty in this whole process works, because he has access to the same data you have. So when you listed the property between 140.54 and 159, you pulled the comps and you saw the sold and you did all this. New buyer comes in, lender hires an appraisal. He goes out to the MLS and goes, hey, look, I don't need to do the investment part. I don't need to do the new build part because this is a purchase residential. I only need to do the one part. So he goes out to the MLS and what does he see? A house between 154 and one at 159. So he goes, hey, the value is 157. Ta-da! It works exactly the way it's supposed to because now you have two people doing the exact same thing. The one that kills you is when your realtor says, hey, it's 124 to 129 and the appraiser comes in at 114. Oh, something's wrong. Somebody did something wrong. And that's where the problems lie right now. All right? So because on a residential purchase, he's not doing the other two, his answer should come out to be exactly what your answer is. Because you guys are looking at the same data and you're doing the same activity. Any questions on appraisals? I would make sure you do questions at the end of the chapter and questions at the end of the quiz and the audio, all right? Thank you and good night.